everything has a time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats sit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Greetings. We are so happy to have you with us tonight. And this journey is mostly about songs about love and relationships and people that come into our lives and people that leave. But before I start that, I have to tell you a little backstory here. So, I was born in Michigan, and I was pretty much a ham at the age of 8. And I loved to sing and act and perform in front of people. You couldn't get me to shut up, to be honest. And as life went on, I started to perform at a very young age. And then I went to Oakland University, where I studied musical theater and performed and did dinner theater and touring theater. And then I went to New York City, where I studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts for a year. And there I also was a jack of all trades. I drove horse and carriages in Central Park and limousines out of the Waldorf and the Plaza. And I got to see a lot of life and a lot of journeys. And then I moved to Arizona and I got married. And I was a producer, director. I had my own theater production company for 5 years out here. And when my second child was born, my wife at the time looked at me and said, "Where do you think you're going?" And I said, "Not to theater anymore." So I went out and got a real job, and I gave up my passion. It's probably the worst thing any human being could ever do is give up your passion. But I did, because I had a family, and I had 2 children. So then I was in pest control for 10 years, but I was good at it. And I killed a lot of things, so my Buddhist friends are still mad at me to this day. And lo and behold, then I was married for 15 years, and we had a divorce, and it was a nasty, drag-down 2-year court battle, nasty divorce. And then slowly I started to pick up the pieces. Well, for about 13 years, I never sang. I actually stopped singing altogether, maybe once in a while in the shower, or maybe to my children at night when I tucked them into bed. So then I got it in my mind that I wanted to get back in this game. I wanted to play a little bit, see what I had. So I sought out Kathy, and we've been at it for 3 years now. And the first 3 months, we thought it would never happen because we thought I had every problem you could possibly imagine, vocal nodes, you name it. So I went and saw a specialist, and they said no, so then we got to work. And it took us 3 years to get here. So if nothing else, I have to thank this woman very sincerely for putting up with me for 3 years. And I also will thank her for all the help she's given me, because she truly is a blessing. Thank you. So tonight we're going to talk a lot about love and relationships. And the first loves in our lives is usually our parents. Now in this generation, a lot of single fathers are raising children. I myself raised my children as a single father for several years, and it was a great blessing. And I learned more lessons from them than they ever could have possibly learned from me. But when I look back at it, in my generation, the person that raised you the most and nurtured you, etc., was our mothers. And my mother's here tonight, Sally Smeltzer, my mom. And that love is the foundation, the beginning of our journey. So the first loves in our lives, for most of us, not everybody, is our mother. and love to you. What do you give to the reason you are living? I could window shop the world before I'm through. Not good enough, not half good enough, not for Mama. Mama, a palace, diamonds like doorknobs, mountains of gold to spare. That's not rich enough, no, not rich enough, not for Mama. Mama, a lifetime crowded with laughter. That's not long enough, not half long enough. What can I give you that I can give you? What will your present be? Mama, young and beautiful, always young and beautiful. That's the Mama I'll always see. That's for Mama with love from me. It's always good to start a show getting your mother to cry. So our relationships expand. After our mothers, of course, then they go into the world of dating. Now, my first date was a blind date. It happened when I was about 8, 9 years old. No, it's true. Her name was Sarah, and she was a preacher's daughter's girl. And we went out to the movies. And after the movies, we went to have ice cream. And on the ride home, she bit me. I don't know why she bit me, but she bit me, and that kind of ended the date. Well, in essence, that's very much like a lot of blind dates. You really don't know what's going to happen. You have a lot of thoughts in your mind, preconceptions of what's going to be good or bad. You know, am I going to drop to my knees and propose? Is she going to be pretty, ugly? The list goes on. So all day long, you're going insanely nuts, thinking about this moment in time that may or may not happen, that blind date that's ahead of you. And trust me, I can say if nothing else, you are just a nervous wreck. I'm nervous and upset because this girl I never met I get to meet tonight at 8. I'm taking her to dinner at a charming old cafe, but who can eat tonight at 8? It's early in the morning and our date is not till 8 o'clock tonight, and yet already I can see what a nightmare this whole day will be. I haven't slept a week, I only think of our approaching tete-a-tete tonight at 8. I'll sit there saying absolutely nothing, or I'll jabber like an ape tonight at 8. 3 more minutes, 2 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. It may be a mistake, but that's a chance I have to take, and if it goes all right, who knows, I might propose tonight at 8. And you have to forgive me, I have to drink a lot because I'm old. It's true. Water is my best friend. So what happens when you go on some dates, and then you go on more dates, and more dates, and sooner or later, one person in the relationship falls in love. And sometimes it's not you. And what do you do then? Is love a two-way street? I had a girlfriend back in New York City years ago, and her parents were from Connecticut, and we went to visit them. And her father took me aside, and he didn't like me. That's okay, I don't blame him. And he proceeded to tell me that in every relationship there's one person who loves the other person more. And I knew what he was going at. So then I looked at him and I said, so in your relationship with your wife, which one loves each other more? He shut up. But in truth, he's correct. That whenever we're in any relationship, there's always one person who's a little more in love and the other one's working on other stuff. And then it flips and goes back and forth. So what do you do, though, when you are in that dating cycle and that person loves you? What do you do? It's always love. It's always love. There is a violent reaction to a chemical attraction on her part as well as his. And you have love, and you have love. Or do we dare in a democracy to shatter the hypocrisy and call it what it is? And what it is, and what it is just a lot of heavy breathing with some simmering and seething, not unpleasant now and then. But then it starts an open invitation to a moral obligation that is very bad for men. Yes, very bad for men. And after all, am I responsible at all? Because she needed to believe that I am something that I'm not. And if I shattered her illusions, she was jumping to conclusions. So here am I. I had an innocent reaction to a physical attraction. Now my back's against the wall. It's always love. Well, I am not convinced at all. She labeled me a heel, you know. I'm really not a heel, you know. It wasn't a bad deal, you know. Think how good it made her feel, you know. When all is said and done, you know. You didn't see her run, you know. She's over 21, you know. She's over 21, you know. Now she'll be hurt. Oh, now she'll be hurt. Her little life will be in patches, and her breath will come in catches, and her nerves will be a knot. And as for me, for just some momentary pleasure, I have run off with a treasure. Call the cops and have me booked. It's always love. Damn it all! I think I'm hooked. Thank Dean Martin. So, you date somebody, and you date somebody for, well, quite a while. What is the natural progression? What happens next? Does anybody know?
Marriage.
What?
Marriage.
Marriage. What is marriage? Marriage. So like I said, I was married for 15 years. So me and my then girlfriend, Kathleen, we were at the Arizona State Fair. And we were walking around, and we decided to play one of those games, the ones where you shoot the water into the balloons and it blows them up and they pop. And I won a bunch of times, so I won this huge green dragon with gold wings. It was pretty. And I gave it to her. And as we were walking down the midway, she turned to me and she said, "What should we call this?" And I stopped and I thought for a second. And I said, "Will you marry me?" And she stopped and her jaw kind of hit the ground. And she said, "What did you say?" And I said, "Will you marry me?" And then she burst into tears and grabbed me and hugged me, and well, there you have it. Now I gotta be honest though, and I can't say it's for all men or even all women, but the moment I asked her to marry me, this little voice in the back of my head was going, "Please say no. Please say no. Think about this. Take your time. I'm not quite ready yet." But she said yes, and well, she called my bluff, so we got married, and we did have some beautiful years together. So the natural progression, you're correct, after dating is marriage. Oh, I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are gonna chime. Pull out the stopper, let's have a whopper, but get me to the church on time. Oh, I gotta be there in the morning. Spruced up and looking in me prime. Girls come and kiss me, show how you miss me, but get me to the church on time. If I am dancing, roll up the floor. If I am whistling, whisk me out the door. For I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are gonna chime. Kick up a rumpus, but don't lose the compass, and get me to the church. Get me to the church. For God's sakes, get me to the church on time. And it's true, I love playing different characters and having lots of fun. Now, I'm looking, brother! Anybody seen my brother? Brother, well, brother.
Oh, hello.
Hello, brother. Father and I have been looking all over for you. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been chasing a fair maiden.
A maiden, you say?
Oh, yes, quite beautiful.
Oh, tell me about her. What?
Well, she has very long hair.
Hair?
Yes. She lost a slipper.
A slipper?
Yes.
Why did she lose her slipper?
She was running away from
Wait. Somebody would run away from you? Why would she do that?
I do not know, but one has.
Ooh.
Did I abuse her or show her disdain? Why does she run from me? I just don't know. Agony, beyond power of speech.
Yes, brother.
When the one thing you want is the only thing out of your reach.
High in a tower, she sits by the hour, maintaining her hair. Blithe and becoming, and frequently humming a light-hearted air. Agony, far more painful than yours, when you know she would go with you, if there only were doors. Agony, all the torture they teach. What's as intriguing
Or half so fatiguing
as what's out of reach?
Am I not sensitive, clever, well-mannered, considerate, passionate, charming, as well as I'm handsome, and heir to a throne?
You are everything maidens could wish for.
Then why not?
Do I know?
The girl must be mad.
You know nothing of madness till you're climbing her hair, and you see her up there as you're nearing her, all the while hearing her. Agony, misery, woe, it's different for each.
Always 10 steps behind,
Always 10 feet below,
and she's just out of
reach. Agony that can cut like a knife. I must have her to wife. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you JT.
The sun comes up, I think about you. The coffee cup, I think about you. I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. The morning ends, I think about you. I talk to friends, I think about you. And do they know it's like I'm losing my mind? All afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you. Spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. Does no one know? It's like I'm losing my mind. All afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays bright. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not turning left, not turning right. I dim the lights and think about you. Spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? Todd? Todd!
Oh, yeah? Huh. What, baby?
You said you were married for 15 years, right?
Yes.
Were you ever sorry?
Oh, God. You're always sorry. You're always grateful. You always wonder what might happen. Then she walks in. And still you're sorry. And still you're grateful. And still you wonder. And still you doubt. Then she walks out. Everything's different, nothing's changed, only maybe slightly rearranged. You're sorry, grateful, regretful, happy. Why search for answers when none occur? You always are what you always were, which has nothing to do with, all to do with her. Nothing to do with, all to do with her. More water. So in relationships, I hear this a lot. I hear that we all move so fast today. Now, I have to apologize for my generation because we've been blaming the younger generation for years about your technology. We say it makes you move too fast and it makes you disconnected from the rest of the world. And is there some truth to that? Of course there is. But also, I have to let you in on a little secret. We had something way before your technology which screwed this whole thing up first. Now, before your cell phones, we had big walkie-talkie cell phones. Remember those? It's hard to carry. Weigh about 10 pounds. And then we had pagers that vibrated. We all thought we were important when we wore those. And then before that, we had our mothers sticking her head out the window saying, "Hey, it's lunch!" And everybody came running home. But to be honest, probably back to the 1920s is when the problem really began. And it wasn't with technology. It was with coffee. The trouble with the workaday is plain to see. Is coffee in a cardboard cup. The trouble with the affluent society is coffee in a cardboard cup. No one's ever casual or nonchalant. No one wastes a minute in a restaurant. No one wants a waitress passing pleasantries like, "Hiya, miss." "Hiya, sir. May I take your order, please?" The trouble with the world today is plain to see. Is everything is hurry up. It's rushing through. Don't be slow. BLT on a ride to go. It's coffee. I think she said coffee. I know she said coffee in a cardboard cup. Hurry it up. Yeah, thanks, my bros. Oh, that's bothering me. I can't leave a mess. I should look at my sink. So, believe it or not, we're about halfway through. Just almost. So, we've talked about a lot of different relationships. Our mothers, people that come into our lives, the people we fall in love with and get married. But the one thing that constantly remember and go back to is this journey is one of ourselves. This is our journey to learn and discover and return. You know, it's a funny thing. Too many times people get in relationships of any type, and they get out of them and immediately rush back into another relationship, instead of taking enough time to self-examine, look at themselves and see where they are and what they need to learn so they don't repeat the same mistakes. So, we're at the halfway point. Everyone has a reason, everyone has a rhyme. Show me a season and I'll soon show you a time. Cats fit in the windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So, like I was saying, relationships are one where you need to learn things. Now, in a second, my family's going to be very happy because I think most of them have been trying to put me in one of these for years. Yeah, that's a brother for you. Snap me, huh? So, remember we were talking about learning lessons. So there's a story I was told years back from a spiritual man. And whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I love the story. So he once told me that there was a producer in Hollywood that was married 28 times. That's Hollywood, you can believe that. Yes. So he was married 28 times. And on his 28th marriage, he was walking into the reception hall after the wedding. And there in the middle of the reception hall was the mother-in-law of his first wife. And he couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. So he walked up to her and he said, "Ruth, what are you doing here?" And Ruth had a puzzled look on her face. And she turned to him and said, "You married my daughter again." So the very first wife ended up being the 28th wife again. And the reason being is he never learned a lesson all those 28 times. So each woman he married was still the same woman. She may have had different hair, a different body, and a different voice, but she still was the same lesson that he had to learn. So he repeated it over and over and over again. So like I said, we're on our own journey, and you have to learn some lessons. I hear bells in the summer night, distant bells that no one hears. I hear moonlight softly chiming, and the clang of ivory climbing. I hear the bells on the river dock. I hear the bells in the city clock too. Truly I do. I could show you. Are you sad? Come away with me. Hear the world with my own ears. Hear the starlight faintly tinkling and the ping of candles twinkling. I hear the bells in a summer shower, not just the bells on the quarter hour. If you're in need of a world that can shine, come and hear mine. Call me mad. Well, of course you will. Put me under lock and key. I'll hear music where I'm rooming, like the bungalow, roses blooming. I hear the bells in a waterfall. Bells seem to call from a flower stall too. Truly they do. I could show you. Is it wrong to be hearing things others don't take time to see? When I feel my special tingle and the river starts to jingle, I hear the bells that I love so much. Bells I can smell, I can taste and touch. If you're in need of a world that can shine, shine, come and hear mine. Come and hear mine. Come and hear mine. I'm free. Not yet. Remember this moment, brother.
So she will frame.
Thank you. Ooh, isn't she wonderful? Oh, I need one more. Sorry. Thank you. So, relationships again. We go through many of them. And inevitably, you're going to get in an argument or a fight with somebody in your relationship. And then what do? How do you handle that? Somebody says, you really don't know a person until you have a good fight with them. There's some truth to that. But how do you love somebody when you're angry at them, or you don't understand what it is they need or want, and you're confused? An old wise man once told me a very beautiful secret of how to handle a woman. This works for men too. There's a way, said a wise old man, a way known by every woman since this whole rigmarole began. Do I flatter her? I begged him answer. Do I threaten or cajole or plead? Do I brood or play the gay romancer? Said he smiling, no, indeed. How to handle a woman? Mark me well, I will tell you, sir. The way to handle a woman is to love her. Simply love her. Merely love her. Love her. I wish I could just hook up an IV. Make life so much easier. So you love somebody. And you've heard about this in the newspapers and magazines. And what happens when that love goes dark, turns nasty, becomes the worst place we can possibly imagine ourselves? What happens when the love you give is not reciprocated and given back? What do you do then? We were two friends in love, Annette and I. The empty beach was warm, sleepy in July. If the sea recalls, the waves would surely say, I sang so many songs for Finette that day. She was as beautiful as rainbows in the sky. She was so beautiful and not at all am I. She was there on the sand, as gold as she was brown, and when I held her hand, I held the world around. I was so crazy then to think that it could be. I thought that I was hers. I believed that she was for me. But we'd never learn until it's too late. We were two friends in love, Finette and I. The empty beach was warm, deceitful in July. If the sea recalls, the waves would surely say, I stopped singing my songs for Finette that day. I saw them arm in arm enfolded by the sea. They looked so much in love, they never looked at me. They saw me and they laughed. They stood and watched me cry and sang their little song. I cursed the summer sky. You see, I'd like to tell you how they swam so well that day. They swam so far away. You'll never see them now. No, 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 no. No, we never learn. But let's talk of something else. We were never two friends, Finette and I. The empty streets are cold, crying in July. But when the waves are still, I still can hear it yet. I hear a little song. I hear a It's always fun. Water goes in, water comes out. So, relationships have a tendency of sometimes going dark, going bad. And that's natural. That happens. But why is it everybody comes to you, all your friends, all your family, all the people that love you, and tell you, don't worry, it'll be okay tomorrow. You'll be fine tomorrow. Everything will be okay tomorrow. But all you can think about, because all you know is the pain you have this moment, and all you can want and want to know is, what about today? The tears I'm shedding now, I hear will dry in time. The fears I'm fearing now, I hear will die in time. But while I wait around for tomorrow, watching life drift away, what about, yes, what about today? I can't help wondering if tomorrow ever comes. Oh, and what's my life been lived for if it never comes? I've heard a lot of toasts to tomorrow, but none of them ever say, what about, yes, what about today? Till Nirvana comes, what about today? Till Messiah comes, what about today? Till the mountains move and oceans part and angels sing and life can start, what about, yes, what about today? I know if I just wait, the sun will shine someday. And when it does, the weather will be fine someday. But while I wait around for tomorrow, watching life drift away, what about today? What about today? What about, yes, what about
Many cooking and letter writing and knowing Buddy's there. And in Buddy's eyes, I'm young, I'm beautiful. In Buddy's eyes, I don't get older. So life is ducky and time goes flying. I feel so lucky, I feel like crying, and oh, I married the right man, right? In Buddy's eyes, I'm young, I'm beautiful. In Buddy's eyes, I can't get older. I'm still the princess. I'm still the prize. In Buddy's eyes, I'm young, I'm beautiful. In Buddy's arms, on Buddy's shoulder, I won't get older. Nothing dies, and everything I dreamed I'd be, the best I ever thought of me, is every minute there to see. In Buddy's eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, JT.
Too many mornings, waking and pretending I reach for you. Thousands of mornings, dreaming of my girl. All that time wasted merely passing through. Time I should have spent so content, wasting time with you. Morning to morning, wishing that the room might be filled with you. Morning to morning, turning into days. All the days that I thought would never end. All the nights with another day to spend. All the nights I'd look up to see Sally standing at the door, Sally moving to the bed, Sally resting in my arms, with her head against my head. time enough for me. If there's time to look up and see Sally standing at the door, Sally moving to the lane, Sally resting in my arms, with your head against my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Shell Hall and JT. Oh, so we talked about many relationships, and we're going to talk about my favorite this time. I'm a father. I have two beautiful children. One is my son. His name is Joseph, and he is 22, and he's here, but I'm not going to embarrass him by pointing him out. And the other one is my daughter, and she is 20, and her name is Katja, and they are the loves of my life. As a single father, you better believe it. This song that I'm about to sing is probably one that almost every parent feels for their child. We don't always like our children. God, ain't that the truth? And we sometimes don't understand them, and my mother can attest to that one. But we still love them through the journey, and we always will, because they're a part of us, and because we wish them only the best that life has to bring. We know they'll have to endure pain and suffering, and there's a part of us that wish we could take it away. But in truth, that's really the only way any of us grow. So this song is for my son, because this is the song I sang the most when he was first born as a baby. And I sang it for my daughter when she came along as well. But this one really was the one I sang for my son. I hope you enjoy it. Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around. Demons are prowling everywhere nowadays. I'll send them howling, I don't care, I got ways. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Not to worry, not to worry, I may not be smart, but I ain't dumb. Let me do it, put me to it, show me something I can overcome. Not to worry, chum. Being close and being clever ain't like being true. I don't need to, I will never hide a thing from you like some. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing's gonna harm you, not But while I'm around, that was my son's song, and then my daughter came along. Now, my daughter has and will always be able to wrap me around her little finger. Just the way it is. In our family, we still haven't quite figured out why that is, but it is the way it is. When she was a little baby, she used to put her little finger right around this little pinky, or her whole hand actually. And then as she got a little older, it was 2 fingers. And then as a toddler, it was around 3. And then, of course, as a teenage, or, well, preteen, it was the whole hand. And then she became a teenager, and I can't get her to touch me ever since. It's true. But I know she loves me, and I know I love her. And throughout her journey, there's going to be times she doesn't talk to me, times she doesn't touch me, hold me, or hug me. It doesn't matter, because I will always love her. And when push comes to shove and the worst of the world hits her, I would like to believe, like most parents, that I will be there for her to help however I can. And this is the song I used to sing to my daughter almost every night when she was young, and I also sang it for my son. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you, about you, about you. Cows and chickens are going to the dickens, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. Doodle-doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo-doo. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and it beats me all the heck, beats me all the heck. I'll ever tend the farm, ever tend the farm when I want to keep my arms about you, about you, about you. Cows and chickens are going to the dickens, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. Doodle-doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo-doo. Shh. Doodle-doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. So we kind of ran the whole gamut. There's people we love and come into our lives, and people that leave us and go away. And this next song is more about the people that leave. And that happens in relationships and divorce, friends move and travel long distances. But it also happens with our best friends and people and family that we really care about, and they pass away. And that void is very painful. It's the hardest sometimes to overcome. I know that everybody that's ever left my life has touched me profoundly. And I love each and every person for that. And even when they pass away and die, I like to know that they're still part of my journey. They're still inside me. Kind of a reflection, if you will. It's nice to get dressed up once in a while. This song is for the people that touched us and leave us. There's a grief that can't be very words that they had sung became their last communion on the lonely barricade at dawn. Oh, my friends, forgive me that I live and you are gone. There's a grief that can't be spoken. There's a pain goes on and on. Phantom faces in the window, phantom shadows on the floor, empty chairs and empty tables where my friends will meet no more. Oh, my friends, don't ask me what your sacrifice was for. Empty chairs and empty tables where my friends will sing no more. Water in, water out. So, we've traveled a long way. And we've talked about love and relationships and family. And once again, it brings us to the one thing. I was in a marriage for 15 years, and it ended badly. So I'm not necessarily pro-marriage as much as I'm pro-finding a companion, somebody to share the journey with. And even myself, I've been single now for the last 6 years or so. And there's a part of me that would still like to find somebody to share the journey. Maybe not marriage, maybe. But somebody to share their journey, to validate that I'm here, and somebody that I can validate as well. So if you know anybody single, you know. So what I can tell you is a wonderful master once taught me that the trick in any relationship, and I firmly believe this after all the ones I've experienced over my life, the trick in a relationship is every day you wake up, you have to see a new person. Now that doesn't mean a physical new person. That means you have to allow the person you're with to change and grow. And they have to allow you that same blessing to change and grow. So every day you wake up, you see a new person, and you get to love them for just being who they are that day, that moment. No expectations, no beliefs that, if you didn't do the dishes today, why? And the answer is do them yourself. But in truth, the joy of that is to see that new person and experience another day with them. And that's a blessing. The other thing is, like I said towards the beginning of this, all the relationships that come in your life are experiences to learn and grow, and to help you learn and grow, and to help them grow. So every day, think of it as a blessing. Every day, know you're on your journey. Maybe some lucky day you'll happen to find me gone, and far away you'll hear me singing to the dawn, and you'll wonder if I'm happy there, a little more than I've been, and the answer will come back to you like laughter in the wind. Rivers belong where they can ramble, eagles belong where they can fly. I got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner. Gotta find my corner. Gotta find